Anthem on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. King shit. Yeah. Yeah. Look. I'm from the city where the bums rich. Skyscrapers block the rays when the sun hits. One time coming, niggas run quick. By the time a baby walk, he got a gun grip. I was made for this. 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 I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to be a
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This your host, Brother Rich. I got a special show for you tonight. We live in front of the National Black Theater. I'm with the one and only Red Pill and DJ Elektra Rose, man. We got the male-female combination tonight. Shit, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? What is midnight right now?
Facts.
Shit, we doing good right now. Listen, man. Listen, y'all.
Full moon.
On the full moon. In Aries, right?
Facts.
In Aries, right.
Going back to those moons.
Right. There's a word I keep hearing, y'all, when we talk about, because when we talk about Hillary Clinton, I hear this word constantly within the black community. When we talk about Nate Parker, I hear this word constantly in the community. When we talk about Bill Cosby, I hear the word. When we talk about Derrick Rose, I hear the word. I just keep hearing this word coming up more and more, and the word is black feminist. So I want to talk to you. A lot of people feel as though the system that we know as white supremacy is preying on the emotions of black women to get at the whole race. They feel as though they're preying on the emotions. Black women have gone through a lot in this country.
A lot.
A whole lot in this country by the white man and the black man.
Whole lot.
A lot of black women have been abused by black men, have been molested by black men. So we have this situation where when the police shootings happen, police killings happen, some black women aren't sympathetic. They're like, man, listen, I've been abused, I've been cheated on, whatever. Fuck these niggas.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
Kali Yuga, baby.
So I need to talk to you, brother, because there's a situation with the Nat Turner movie by Nate Parker where he was accused of rape allegations, and there was a whole campaign on Black Twitter with black women against Nate Parker. But just in general, I want to ask you, what is your opinion on black feminists? And let me just, I don't want to stop there. It's such a broad term because I guess different black women have different definitions. Some black women disagree with Beyonce's term because they feel as though she talks about Jay-Z too much, and she calls herself Mrs. Carter, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't take upon his name and talk about put a ring on it. So it's confusing right now for the young black woman coming up. It's like, am I a black feminist? Am I not? I do want women rights. I don't want to be abused. I don't want this nigga beating on me.
Yeah.
I don't want this nigga molesting me. That seems like a black feminist, so I might step into them shoes.
Yeah.
Brother, sister, clarify for the people what's going on with this term that I keep hearing talked about so much.
You want to start?
Yeah. Well, I just want to start by saying what the Beyonce take on the whole matter is, I think she's trying to bring a new spin to it, bring it to a whole new dimension of overstanding for the black woman. One is Miss Carter. She represents Mrs. Carter. She represents the happy home, the mother, the wife. She's entrepreneur. Everything is balanced in her world.
Mompreneur.
Everything. So at the end of the day, when she's speaking on feminism, she's more so trying to bring light. I think she's trying to play like a two-sided coin in a sense. So she's trying to say, well, I can be this and then represent that. It is confusing because at some point, feminism, that feminist movement, it doesn't represent the happy home, the wife, the father in the house with the baby playing after work and all that. What the feminist movement represents is division. It's that you make what you make, I make what I make. Matter of fact, same-sex couples, they're able to combine income, while most individuals that are straight, single. They're opposed to marriage. It's really interesting in these times that we're living in, because again, you legalize same sex, but now single people don't want to get married. To me, it's a crazy epidemic. So on the feminist movement aspect of it is, I noticed the lack of black men in the homes. That again, that division. So I think if Beyonce is trying to represent that, she doesn't live that lifestyle. So it's almost like, how can you even understand what the feminism actually means? So that's my take.
Interesting take. I am not 100% familiar, with the whole ideology behind black feminism, but I feel that I can agree to an extent to what it is that you were saying about the fact that it represents a division. Okay? It's not talking necessarily about the nuclear family. It's talking about the family that got nuked and the fallout of that family, therefore. So trying to create a new family from a family that got nuked, because the nuclear family got nuked during the Nixon administration, during the Reagan administration, during the Bush administration, during the Clinton administration, during the Obama administration. That's just my humble opinion, that it got nuked. And nuked meaning that there are policies that were set forth. These policies had a lot to do with legislation and other laws that were passed that resulted in the black family, or families for that matter, just families alone, being disrupted at their core. Child services. Yes, you can get money. Yes, you could get cheese. Yes, you could get eggs. But the man can't be in the household. He got to go. It's these eggs and his cheese, or that man, like, choose one or the other. And they chose the eggs and the cheese in some cases. In some other cases, the black man, he decided that he wanted to leave on his own. Okay? In any society, if there's no structure, okay, meaning the proton, neutron, electron, meaning the Holy Trinity or the triad, Father, Mother, Child, Sun, Moon, and Stars, then I feel, because these people in this modern day society have, and they have this arrogance as if this new age represents a new way of doing things, or a new way of living life, or a new approach to science, when that never worked for millennia. You dig what I'm saying? So every time I look back into history, there was a man in a house, or there was there was a father, a mother, and a child, and they were cooperating in a way. If he wasn't even in the house, if he was on a farm, on another person's farm, or if he was at war, or if he was an indentured servant, if he was even in slavery and chattel slavery, there are reports of chattel slaves who were on plantations in other states, making sure that they sent some cornmeal to their family on another plantation. So he was still there as a provider. Now, when it comes to who's going to hold the bag, because a lot of people are into victimhood, a lot of people are into identifying who did them wrong first. They want to pinpoint, well, that nigga did wrong first. So as a result of that, I became cold-hearted. I became a woman who hates men, and there's my justification. I can't necessarily say in every single incident who did the wrong first, because that would be kind of remissive of me. Like, I can't stand here and say that I could pinpoint who was wrong in every single situation inside of black relationships where shit went wrong. But what I do know is that they have, through the media, through social engineering, through the social politicians, they've somewhat created scenarios where they're playing on the divisions that have been taking place. So anything that doesn't deal with bringing us together and working on healing and admitting that there have been things that have gone wrong and there's a level of atonement that has to take place, it's totally outside of the realm of what I'm lining up with. So if black feminism is talking about separating you and making you feel like you're independent from me, as if you don't need my assistance, my energy, my power, my love, that's crazy. Like, what is an independent woman? Like, what is that? Because going back to Beyonce, she coined that term. But independent women punch clocks. Independent women wait for white men to sign their checks. Independent women, they clothe them, they feed them, they keep the lights on. Independent women are not saying I'm independent because I have an independent business or I'm independently employed. No, you got jobs. You say that you're independent. I got a degree and I don't need a man. Well, you're dependent on somebody. So that's a misnomer. So, I'm not really familiar with the whole term. I don't know what it means. I don't see how it has helped us. You dig what I'm saying? If there are women out there who have been violated, there's a lot of men out there who are in violation. There are a lot of men out there who have been guilty of doing some heinous things to the opposite sex. You feel what I'm saying? But the movement that has formed as a result of that, I'm not going to be naive and say that it serves the best interest for all of us.
One thing I want to talk to you all about in terms of black feminism, and one of the complaints that black men have about females who have that mindset is that in terms of corporate America, black women are given positions that black men aren't. And if you're a black man and you want a position, you have to effeminize yourself almost. You might have too much bass in your voice for the office. You might represent a masculine energy that might be intimidating to them, the same way our energy is intimidated to cops and they feel like they have to use excessive force. So
you can't even grow out your peasy beard.
Right, your beard, or you have to be, there's a certain demeanor, look you have to have. So with that being said, black men feel as though because black women are getting some good jobs out here, they feel, and they're getting paid, so they feel like black women, you don't respect us because you make more than us on a job, because you got hired before I got hired. You don't respect me as a man, so I can't fuck with you. Is it possible, sister and Red Pill, do you think it's possible for a black woman to respect a black man who's supposed to be the protector, who's supposed to be the provider, who's supposed to be, the king of the motherfucking castle, the king of the jungle? Is it possible for a black woman to respect a black man that she makes $80,000 and this nigga make $30,000? He's telling her about white supremacy. Go ahead.
Well, from the instances that I've heard of where women make more money than their counterpart, a lot of times it's not even the woman. I mean, the woman respects the man. A lot of times it's the male ego that can't take it. That's honestly what I've seen. So if I had to kind of speak more on that point, it would be women have been, I guess, from a standpoint of trying to get equal pay, trying to be looked at on an equal plane as men. I feel that, one, men should be proud. And if you happen to get you a woman that's making $80,000 a year and you're making whatever you're making, be proud, be happy. It's a come up for both of y'all. So when it comes to that topic, I think that it's one of those things where you kind of, like, if you're in that situation, love your woman, support your woman. Don't be, the type of person to slander the situation or to find yourself, being, you using your ego. It's not that type of thing. If a woman's with you and you don't have much, it means she probably loves you, technically.
If she makes 80 and I make 30, we make $110. That's all.
It's not as simple as it sounds.
I know it's not as simple as it sounds, but if she makes 80 and I make 30, then we make $110. Meaning that in our inception, in the initial phase of courtship, in the initial phase of the agreement, before I even put hands and feet, or before I put hands and we become, one through intercourse, before I enter your course, right? There should be an agreement. I respect the formula that the brother Polite brought forward. I respect the formula that other brothers brought forward before Polite, like a Sabi and other brothers who dealt with polygamy or dealt with business before the pleasure, or dealt with the fact that if I'm going to have a woman in my life, that woman will understand that we are going to serve a purpose. I'm not going to waste my time and my energy and my cloth dealing with somebody who is not riding for the cause. And the cause is to enhance our experiences on this planet while we're together and while we're alive. Bottom line. So if you hit a lick in corporate America and you got the 80 racks, you hit the lick. If I'm up in corporate America and I'm on my way up and I hit the $30,000 lick, well, God damn it, we're going to focus on how I'm going to turn that 30 into 60 by next year. That's the power of the Black Goddess. The Black Goddess have bankrolled. They've been the ones, they've been the breadwinners. They've carried the black men over the past few decades on their shoulders. They deserve, at the end of the day, they deserve our men in the minds of our men that are so entrepreneurial-like to begin to come together and figure out how are we going to make life easier for both them and us. That is the only thing that we should be coming together to do at this point in time. In this society that we live in Western society, where they have co-opted and manipulated the financial system to make that shit a burden on us, we have to come together and figure out for these children, first and for our progeny, for our future, how can we merge forces? I always want to know, what is your talent and your skill set? Because you could work at Montefiore Hospital, or you could work at, you know what I mean, Harlem Hospital, being a nurse or RN, or you could be a lawyer, whatever your profession is. What is your talent? What is your skill? What's your gift? What did you come here to do? That's really where I come in as a mate. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to help you manifest and blossom these ideals that you have inside of you. What's your budget? You getting 80 racks? All right, what's the budget? I'm going to help out. I'm going to help manifest that. That you use that's your loan, that's your bank. That's the things that are going to bankroll your dreams, because you're not going to be a doctor all your life. You feel what I'm saying? You get in and you get in, you do what you got to do. I'm doing what I got to do, and then we get out. For some people who are so encapsulated in their career that they don't want to procreate, that they don't want to have anything, they just want to wear, their career as their cloth, we will never get along. I wouldn't even be in the same room with a woman like that. You know what I mean? I'm more attracted to ambitious, entrepreneur-minded, women who truly want to be independent. What's true independence? True independence is that me and you don't have any attachments to any kind of slave-like plantation system where we have to adhere to somebody who we call a boss, and our skill set, our sweat equity is helping them get rich every goddamn day while we get little peanuts thrown at us. I want to help free you from that burden, and then we could focus on how we could build a legacy. Okay? That's what it's about.
Yeah, it goes back to that division aspect again. It's when you divide the two people, and if two people made $35,000 each, you understand, that's $70,000. If they say the average income of a New Yorker is making $72,000 a year to live comfortably, that's two people that come together. So now if you divide those two, and that's just 35, and you're going your way and I'm going my way, and I'm single, or I'm dating Mary, right? And the guy's dating Bob, whatever. Now Mary and me can probably come together, because we're thinking, even though we might be getting it in bed or whatever, but we're thinking with our heads. So we'll come together and we'll make that 70,000, and we'll be living somewhere in Soho or whatever. But for some reason, Mary and Bob, when they come together, they only come together for sex. They only coming together for that night. And Bob want to go be with Sally and Sue and everybody, whoever, whatever. At the end of the day, I think it's really ridiculous. And I think that if people really thought with up here instead of down here, that's the solution. So hold on.
See, I feel that one of the main problems that we have is that we have not been taught what love is, or even the power of sex. So the problem that black people are having in their relationships stems back to the problems that black people are having in economics, they're having in law, they're having in entertainment. It is the people perishing for a lack of knowledge. Niggas don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay? So the same way that the womb, man, the woman can create a physical life is the same man that you could create ideas. You could manifest and bring down. Tonight is the full moon. This is the time for people who are attracted towards each other, who have a magnetic and an electric attraction. This is your time to create. You don't wait for your raise for a fucking quarter after 10 years of hard labor. Go ahead.
No, you want to finish it?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is your time to create. So going back to what we were saying with intercourse, all right? When we had our heads right, when we were vibrating at a higher frequency, when we were not in our lower self, where it was just about, oh, she got a fatty, I can't wait to bend her over and put it in a, I want to beat it up, I want to tear it up, I want to bust it up. All of these sound very violent, okay? Very Romanistic. Huh? I want to beat it up. I want to smack it up. All this stuff. You know what I mean? It sounds like fucking UFC. But if we understood the power of the womb man, then we would say, you know what? I want to manifest our ideas, our loftiest ideas. I want to manifest everything that we talked about until the wee hours of the morning. I want to put together a ritual. I'm going to go ahead and book a room at the Four Seasons. I'm going to go and get something at the Palace. You know what I'm saying? Flowers all on the bed. You know what I mean? Chocolate covered strawberries. I'm just saying, setting the tone. And then you go into the ritual, whether it's Tantra, whether it's you two sitting back to back, breathing, like how Blue and them teach how to breathe. Whether you create a vision board, whether you meditate, or whether you connect and become one. Because when is the time that any of us feel closest to God?
It's when you're connected.
Is it when you get that bag? Is it when you get that check? Is it when you light up? No, it's when you connect into one and you become one. They say you are here as you are here on this planet. You got split. This planet is all about the law of duality. So you've been split into two halves, and your purpose on this planet is to find your better half, and then you become one. When you become one, it's the intercourse. You enter her course, you become one. You become the closest to God when you're exactly. When y'all together is one. And then when there's an orgasmic experience to top that off, that's when you're reaching those heights. That's when you manifest. So that's been a problem for our people.
So I mean, and this is some real good talk, real interesting conversation. I'm glad I have a male and female. The energy is dynamic. But this is the question I have right now, based on what you two said. Listening to you talk, the average intellectual would say, you know what? I think I have the solution to their problem. And societies have done this before. They say, we need to have arranged marriages. We need to study their astrological charts. We need to study what date they was born. We need to study their personalities. We need to study all types of shit. And I get to tell Red Pill if he should marry this sister or not, based on my studying.
Facts.
And if my studying doesn't verify that, then Red Pill, you should have married this sister or that sister or whoever. My train of thought, I'm real rebellious, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because listen, this is what they will say. I graduated from high school. The sister I'm with did it.
Yeah.
I went to Catholic school. Sister I'm with didn't.
Yeah.
A lot of things they would say that we wouldn't be compatible. I'm a Virgo, she's a Sag. There's astrological experts that say, nah, that don't go together.
Work. Yeah.
But it do. I've been with her for 11 years. Jay would been with Beyonce for 11 years. It's the same dynamic.
Facts.
What I'm saying is that, is it an intellectual thing? Should you, because they would say if you want to better the community, get with a sister who's educated, got a job, Red Pill. Get with a sister who's trained in an area, but you may get with her and you may be unhappy. and you will have to sacrifice your personal unhappiness for the betterment of the community. So what is more important? Is it more important, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got to be motherfucking, I'm not gonna run around here miserable for no motherfucking body.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you a king. No, I'm not running around miserable. I'm with my woman, and that's who I'm gonna be with. That's who I'm happy with. But that's not the point. The point is, I want to ask you your opinion. Should we sacrifice our personal opinion, our personal enjoyment, and our personal happiness for the betterment of the community?
Answer that
Yeah. So I feel that when two people come together, there's something that's really important, and it is the interest. What do you guys have in common, right? Doesn't have to be what school you went to, but the interests. Like, what kind of music do you like? Yeah. Well, religion to me doesn't really play. It's not an icebreaker. Like, it's not a deal breaker. It's really one of those things that, like, you can kind of work it through, just depending on it. Like, some families are really a real stickler, like if he's not the same religion as hers and stuff like that. So it's normally the families. Like, the two people, when they meet, they're okay with the idea, but it's when it's the friends and the families that kind of get in the middle of it. But interest plays a big part. So there's something that you must love about your woman while you've been with her for 11 years, right? There's something that keeps you comfortable, keeps you coming back, keep you calling her, keep you texting her, whatever it is, there's an interest there.
And I will never give a fuck what black leader have to say about it. I'ma live like that. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't care what black leader would, but am I being ignorant by feeling that way? That's the question I'm asking.
No,
you.
not at all. I mean, and my knowledge, again, is all about interest, and it's very, to me, it's like a needle in a haystack to find someone that has similar interests, like you, like yourself. So again, if you find that type of love, here I go again, hold on to it. I mean, it's not about, where she went to school or how many degrees she has. Again, if she's riding and dying with you, she's with you, and you do the same, that's all.
One of the things that I was exposed to when I was in Atlanta was utilizing the elders as counsel when it came to your relationships. I met a young queen, lovely, beautiful sister, and we went and sat down and got a reading from a family of two elders who've been married for over 40 years. And they deal with the divination system, meaning that they're able to divine, meaning that they're able to ask entities or ancestors certain questions, and they provide them the answers. Now, I'm also a proponent of utilizing the birth charts to see if I'm compatible with my mate or not. Or if we're not compatible, where are the problems going to arrive? So we could be conscious and aware of it. So when it begins to rear its head, we're already aware of it. We know we got plan A, B, and C to deal with these problems when they do arrive, because chances are that they will arrive. But that's the test. What use is a relationship or being with somebody if you're not being tested? If you have not gone through that test? I'm sure in your relationship you've been tested. And if you've not been tested and you've been together for 11 years, then goddamn it, you have something coming, because when you receive that test, that's when you're going to find out if the foundation is strong enough. For the record, the brother said that he has been tested. Yeah, I didn't want that to fly, and you didn't answer.
Yes, sir. I don't want people to think this is make-believe. Yes, sir.
I recall being in relationships and being in honeymoon mode. You know, when you first meet that shorty and shit is just flying, like everything is great. Like everything, nothing could go wrong. And then something breaks up that honeymoon. You know what I mean? Y'all might have... What happened?
I'm gonna just say that whole honeymoon phase for me doesn't exist, and I think that people have to just realize, like, don't fall for the honeymoon. Like, don't fall for it, because if you know that exists, no, not that. Don't think positive, but don't allow it. Yeah, don't allow it to creep in. Like, I think that is the key of a long-term relationship, is saying like, look, we know that La La Land exists, that we not gonna go there. All right? Hold on.
So my approach, right? My modern day approach to avoiding the honeymoon phase is to put all of my joker cards on the table in the beginning. Okay? Letting my significant other know my shortcomings and my flaws off the gate. Okay? Off the gate. Look, this is what it is. This is what it is. And this is what it is. And this is what it's not. I'm not paying for it now. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But you sometimes get that shit out of the way. Get the ugly shit out the way. Get you know what I mean? Like get the explosive, get the grenades out of the, blow yourself up. You know what I mean? Get it out of the way so you can never be surprised. So nothing can never pop up. You dig what I'm saying? So with that approach, you know, I'm able to take away, like you were saying, take away some of the fantasy that exists when you are encapsulated in what I call the love spell. It's nothing wrong with that. The love spell is powerful. The love spell is organic. The love spell has, I feel like it's almost as close. You know, it gets you as close to that feeling of the one that I was talking about earlier. It is a powerful energy.
My thing about the honeymoon phase is that y'all not even like, okay, so like we talked about single people and, you know, the epidemic of single straight people. Y'all not married. Y'all not getting married. How you going through the honeymoon phase? That's why y'all break up. That's why there's issues in the relationship. Eventually they come, you know, because that honeymoon phase, like, it's ironic to me because y'all don't ever get to that stage because y'all went on a honeymoon too soon. Like, y'all just met. So for me, it's like, cut the crap. Like, get to know each other. I'm not really with the meeting somebody in 1 week, 2 weeks. That's my personal approach. I feel like that's a dub, like they would say. Because if you want to get spiritual with someone, how could you get spiritual with someone you just said hi, how you doing? I can't do it. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are the one, you know. But let's catch a vibe. Let's continue to catch a vibe. Let every time you see me, it's like the first time you're seeing me. Yes. Like that's how you catch a spell. It's not seeing somebody and, oh, you know, you calling me, oh, I'm so giddy. No, none of that. I'm not. No. Like, how you doing? You thinking about me? No, I'm not thinking about you. You just happen to call. Sorry. How you doing? Mm-hmm. But I know it's a rough approach. Mm-hmm. But it gets you to. I feel like if a man knew how to deal with a woman like that, it will then change things because he knows, okay, I'm not dealing with some, again, airhead. I'm not dealing with somebody who's just all in love and hypnotizing herself, because that's really what it is. We hypnotize ourselves. We're the ones saying this person is who we want to be. Everything is a reflection of how we want it to be. So if I see you as deemed perfect or whatever the matter is, then I'm going to see you that way because I hypnotize myself. So I'm putting a spell on myself, and then you turn around and put an extra spell on me. So now I'm fucked. And then now I'm on a honeymoon. I ain't even married.
No offense to the viewing audience. I'm about to use a profane word. Okay? Dickmatize. Okay? Because y'all hypnotize yourself and then you get dickmatized. And after that, it's...
Oh, he's so perfect.
Yeah, it's like... Huh? You in cuckoo land. And then if he does something that's against the rules, or if he does something that exposes his flaws, then all of those dreams are shattered. And you got to pick yourself up, or those pieces up. You feel what I'm saying? One of the caveats to online dating or social media is the ability to approach relationships top down. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the fact that if I meet you on social media, and, you know, it's not like I started kicking it with you because your buttocks was out and your boobs was out, and I'm coming at you from the bottom up, meaning the red chakra up, or from the reproductive organs up, meaning that I'm only focusing on ass and yoni first. I don't even know what your brain is like. I don't even know what your mind is like. I don't even really know your name. You know what I mean? I don't care. But the top-down approach is an approach where I'm getting to learn who you are based off of sitting back and listening, analyzing, and watching you. Or if me and you are communicating online, I'm not sending you dick pics. I'm not asking you for a boob shot. I'm building what you want. I'm not even on some Hotep nigga shit.
Swapping quotes.
We swapping quotes. You know what I mean? We reading together. We might Facebook Live and, you know, or we might be FaceTiming and reading a book together. We're stimulating sapiosexual or sapiosexual, as they like to call it. We are stimulating our minds first. We are stimulating our mental orifices first. We're stimulating our brains. You dig what I'm saying? Our pineal is being activated. You dig what? It's being stroked. And then it works its way down. And before you reach the reproductive system, you have to interface with the heart chakra. Okay? So if you are able to capture someone from their mind, you now can capture their heart. And then when you have intercourse, or when you enter their course, it will be electric.
Ooh, electric.
Okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
like the
all right?
sister.
Yeah, that's how you're really able to tap into something that you may not be you may have never been familiar with.
So I have two questions left, family. Like I said, I got two questions. I definitely appreciate this conversation. The first question is, I guess it's going to be geared toward the males and the females. The first question is that one thing you mentioned a little while ago, you said, in a joking way, you said, I ain't paying for no pussy. You said it in a very joking way to tie into what we was talking about.
Yes.
And we mature here, and we want to have a real conversation that people can relate to, right? They say prostitution is one of the oldest professions in the world. Since the times of so-called Jesus Christ, women have been prostituting themselves.
Facts.
There's something about what they say, pussy. There's a sister, Alexis Tyler. She had a series of tapes out called The Power. That's the garbage. The garbage truck hollering at us. Yeah, that's what's up. They know who we are. But there's a series of tapes the sister had out called The Power of Pussy. There's
Pussy
something
power.
about woman. There's something about the magnetism. I mean, it's this thing where Red, we can have everything, and it's not just for Red, this for both of y'all. There's something that we can have everything going on, the best life possible. A sister could walk by and we'll throw it all away.
Fact.
We'll throw this shit all away for some what they call box. And I don't want to keep using the word because there's children watching because they love the program. Red Pill, both of y'all, how do you think black men in particular, because that's what we're focused on, is going to gain more self-control when the oldest profession in the MFN world is that box, that vagina, Vesica Pisces, that union, man. This, like you said, God is the orgasm, man. How are we ever going to gain self-discipline with that in mind?
Well, I'm gonna answer this real quick, and then I'm gonna pass you the mic. When we talk about reward systems and value systems, there's no higher value system and no higher reward system on this planet other than the woman. Okay? She is the pinnacle of the value system. She brings value. She's able to give value. And all of these things, she's able to set value. And the reward for any real man, and I'm going to say any real man because you know what I'm talking about. The reward for any real man in his interactions with the woman who is, attracted to him, in love with him, you know, sexually stimulated by him, that reward is the ability for that man and that woman to come together, okay? And I'm not saying that that's every man's dream, and I'm just saying, and I was clear. I said a man who is attracted to a woman, right? That is the reward system. A man courts you. He takes you out. He tells you he likes you. He sits on your lap and plays with your hair and blows in your ear and all of these other things. He takes you to Chipotle, extra avocado. I'm just saying. There's a reward system at the end of the day, you know, for courting. And the reward system is intercourse, or your hand in marriage, or you saying that you want to be my woman. Things like that. That's the reward system, is it not?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'll let you finish.
So, if we live in a capitalistic society where the music and the culture has devalued the black woman particularly, because they're not making songs about Hillary Clinton's progeny, Chelsea and them. They're not making songs about, you know, Selena Gomez and all of them. They're talking directly to our sisters, and they're like, yo, all of them other chicks, y'all could get it too. But we mainly focus on the black woman. So because of the culture, because of the fact that the culture has been manipulated and the culture has been infiltrated and the culture has been steered in a way through influence of outside forces, mainly the Jews, okay? Mainly the Jews, the Ashkenazis. All right, through the music industry, the pornography industry, the movie industry, the television, media, and all kind of other things. They were the ones that signed the checks. They were the ones that gave Cash Money $30 million. They were the ones who encouraged the misogyny. They were the ones who created San Fernando Valley. They were the ones who created all of these scenarios in these movies in Hollywood that were not dealing with the upliftment of the female principle, the divine feminine principle, okay? And we could talk about that later on. But because the culture has been a vulture on the black feminine principle or the feminine principle, just period, you've been devalued, okay? So men have been encouraged through the arts and the sciences to participate, and the women as well, to participate in prostitution in these modern day times.
And that I understand. See, my thing is, how do you even reward something like that then? There is no reward system then. Because a reward system would have been back when men would propose to the woman. Okay. And the women was refraining from sexual deviances or whatever with the individual until he proposed or until they got married, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, that's gone. So that reward system to me is dead. And then when you see women, when they say prostitution is the oldest profession, yes it is, but it's because she may want a piece of silk. She might want extra sheep. I don't know why they did all that stuff. But anyway, my thing is nowadays people do it because she has rent. She's a single mom. So whatever the situation is, people choose to do that. Or if, like Tommy Sotomayor dropped, right, who said legalize it, like whatever. Legalize it, because one is they're going to do it anyway. The only thing about legalizing it is that you're going to see them everywhere. You don't want to do that. They have to just legalize it in the home or legalize it inside somewhere. Because at the end of the day, people are going to do it. If her rent needs to be paid and he's going to pay it and then still have sex, why not just make it legal? People are going to do it anyway. You know, the only thing I don't condone is fucking for shoes. Don't do it. I
want to add on. Earlier today, we was watching a video with Nicki Minaj twerking at the Tidal concert. And I said, this has to stop. Why do I say that? Because the temperature in the world, not the country, the world is on the brink of a world war. The country is on the brink of civil war. The country is on the brink of a race war. The country is on the brink of all kind of uncertainties. And there's one woman on the planet, okay, that belongs to one race on the planet. And that woman is being portrayed around the world in a lustful manner. What's the difference between a loving manner and a lustful manner? A lustful manner is this. When somebody lusts you and they put their hands on you and they get hold of you, they're not going to make love to you. They're not going to care for you. They're not going to treat you in a way that you may want to be treated. I don't know if you're familiar with the behaviors and the mentality of these demons that are out here and the things that they want to do to you. Okay, so for Nicki Minaj commercializing her sexuality, she don't gotta sell the box. Okay, she's for sale on the title concert. Bottom line, she got a man at home. What the fuck is she doing showing her ass? So the commercial, okay, the black women are sending around the world is this. When this shit goes down, if any war, if any conflict ever takes place, you black women are the booty of all wars. Bottom line, you got the Chinese on the fucking gate. You got the Russians on the gate. You have the rednecks down south. And what are they going to be promised? They're going to be promised this. If you take these niggas out, if you deal with the nigga problem, if you get these savages out of the way, you're going to be able to have their woman. You got Beyonce, Rihanna, all of these fucking women out here will be yours to do anything that you want to do with them. I just saw the slave movie, Nat Turner, okay? When white people go and see slave movies, there's a point of reference that you can't share with them. I don't care how much of a friend they are to you. I don't care. No, they're watching the movie from a point of reference of the slave master. You're watching the movie from the point of reference of the slave. Bottom line, the booty of war is the black woman or woman, period. So all I'm saying is this. This is not the time to commercialize your sexuality and try to sell that shit to the world as if. What are they buying? When they buy her album, what are they really buying? When they buy the tickets, what are they really buying? What are they buying into? Are they buying into, oh, I like her lyrics, she got bars? No, they're buying into the concept that the black punani, the black woman, the most sought after woman, because you were the exotic jungle bunny, the Dorothy Dangerous Kurtz. Okay? People be honoring Dorothy Dangerous. That was a prostitute to them white men in Hollywood. Okay? When they put Billie Holiday on heroin, what you think they was in the back room doing to her? That's all I'm saying. So we have to remember, and I apologize for, turning up, but it's not to you. It's my passion. So we got to remember that this is not the time. This is not the day or the age. Who is going to protect you? There's already issues with the black man not protecting a black woman. There's rumors of war on the. Who's gonna protect you? They fighting in the. You think the white man is gonna protect you? You think the Asian is gonna protect you? The Indian?
At the end of the day, I feel that if a woman is not valuing her box, but at the end of the day, the word is value. Value equals up to some type of reward, payment, number, whatever situation. I mean, again, I don't agree with guys who take women out to dinner and expect something. So you're supposed to get boxed because you took it to Chipotle. No, that's what I'm saying. It's at the end of the day, don't be fucking for shoes and bags. I mean, that's what it is. At the end of the day, if you're gonna sell,
AKA
because
selling yourself cheap.
That's what it is, because it's always selling. It's again, when we talk about the marriage, it was a business situation. It's always a business arrangement, right? So it's business. It's business all the way around. Honey, are you gonna pay the rent this month? Can we come together? Oh, you gonna fuck me tonight? I don't know. No. At the end of the day, it's prostitution. But in another, sorry, don't mean to disrespect the wives out there, but you know what's going on. But it's. At the end of the day, for me, it's important that that you just, again, if you're gonna do it, make sure it makes sense. Value yourself, higher values. That's it. That's it. And prostitution is going to be around forever. It started back then. It's going to go on to the future. And hey.
One last question for y'all. Like I said, it's getting late. One last quick question. Bobby Hemming was the first teacher I heard back in the early 2000s talk about the return of this divine feminine energy. He talked about it before any of them, the white boys, anybody. Bobby Hemming talked about
Mac Miller.
Before Mac Miller, whose album just came out. It's called Divine Feminine.
Divine Feminine.
So yo, what does that? I mean, there's so many spins on it. I mean, I'm sure the black feminists see it and they're like, oh, this means that we gonna rule niggas. Black men see it and they be like, this means we gotta put our foot on these bitches more because they gonna try to take over.
Yeah.
There's so many fear factors involved with this principle. What can you tell the people that it really means, the return of this divine feminine principle? Because it's something great for us. Please explain to the people.
The return of the divine feminine speaks to the return of an energy, of a force, of the divine matriarch, who the original war, my grandfather, God bless his soul, always, he would repeat his words. So he would say 30 times to me and my brother, the first war on this planet was between man and woman. That is the original war on this planet. In the media right now, all we're seeing is the stroking of that. The remembrance of that through the whole Donald Trump with the sexual allegations, to Bill Clinton with the rape allegations, to Bill Cosby, to Nate Parker. All of these things are beginning to surface. The great divine speaks in signs, meaning that there's somebody pulling these strings and making certain things happen. Okay, the divine feminine, the nature of the nurturer. But what I'm seeing is the divine feminine waking up, but more of a Kali Yuga kind of energy, more of a Sekhmet energy, more of a waking up of the sleeper giant, and that sleeper giant roaring before we get into the all-set ISIS, kind of nurturing, mothering energy. We're going to deal with some kind of heads being cut off. We're going to deal with some divine retribution, because throughout this period of the patriarch, it has been divine retribution against the divine matriarch. They've had their proverbial foots on the necks of the woman, or the feminine principle for that matter, keeping her tucked, keeping her suppressed, keeping her tucked away and things of that nature. This prototypical male white man, okay, that the Roman, the Greco-Roman for that matter, that's the motherfucker who pushed this shit to the limits. And the Jew, or the Ashkenazi for that nature. And then also, at the end of the day, the African. Okay, the black man, or the African American, or the nigger who was created on the sex farms of the plantation and has a lot of the DNA, the spirit of the motherfucking slave master. So he can't be too straight up. His shit is all over the place as it is, because as the records may show, he's been the #1 perpetual victimizer of the black woman. Okay, he's been the one who's been the abuser. He's been the one who has tortured. He's been the one who has molested and done all kind of trauma to their mother, sister, daughter, auntie, whatever the fuck. Okay, so the divine feminine is about shining the light on that. It's about pulling the covers off of that. It's about waking up the world to the power of who she is outside of her sexuality, outside of the fact that she is desirable. She is a desirable being on this planet that, I mean, we're naturally wired to be attracted to you. We're naturally wired to want to be a part of your lives. You know what I mean? So for men being attracted to women and not knowing how to express that, that's where the problem lies, because there's a natural attraction. It's like when you put two opposite magnums together, they're going to come together. Okay? So it's not that you're going to stop men, oh, I hate men looking at me, or I wish niggas don't talk to me. No, that's going to happen. That's natural. That shit's been going on for millions of years. Okay? But it's the approach and the way that we value and respect you. That has to change.
when we speak about that feminine energy, I think it's part of the conversation we had the other day about the spillage of all this extra estrogen that is out in the universe. And with that hold that was on the female, that female energy has now spilled into this generation of these men who are more feminine. I think it speaks on that. I think it speaks on how, yes, these guys now wearing dresses. It's more like everyone is androgynous. Like we're living in an androgynous generation. Everybody wants to be that. Oh, I'm he, she. And I think that's where that statement is coming from. It's the return of that energy, but now it's not. Yeah, it's not just the woman anymore. It's the man also. So I think that's what it is. It's more like, to me, it's like prophetic in a way. It's like he's
So
basically.
is that like a cycle? Because they said that was, is that like a cycle or the returning of something that, was here before, because they talked about the androgynous and things of that nature prior, many generations ago, many eons ago.
Yeah, I believe that it is something that is a cycle, and it's here, and it's evident because, like, to me, more than ever before, I mean, I see that femininity everywhere. I don't care if I'm on the train. I mean, I'm seeing dudes with bags. I mean, it's nice when you have your little man bag or whatever, but I'm seeing dudes that are like more feminine, and when they say that they were born this way, or they say that they can't control it, I believe part of that. I believe that there is a chemical warfare. I believe that there's chemicals out there that whether when they was babies, maybe the Similac might have had some soy or something that was the plastic, right, everything. So I feel like when they say, I was born this way, it's because if it happened to them as a baby, that's all they could remember. I mean, remember when you're a baby, you don't remember. So it's like whatever happened to you until when you start, to remember things at 5-6 years old, you start feeling like, oh wait a minute, I want to be a girl, and I was born so I was born a gentleman, a boy. I was supposed to be a gentleman. Now I'm a lady growing up. It's because of that chemical warfare. And I honestly, like, when people say, oh, I can't control this, I feel bad for them because they are victims to me. Like that, and that return of that feminine energy is that to me. It's poking fun of it. Actually, it's like, yeah, it's wrong. Anyway,
Leave your contact info. We got it. Just 1 minute left. Leave your contact info.
yeah, you can check me out at DJ Elektra Music on IG. So that's at DJ Elektra Music on IG.
L_Filthmore. Check out the Indiegogo campaign, Facts Initiative. Hit us up, the Mark 125 or the Mark 125 at Gmail. Peace. All right, no doubt.
Peace, family. This brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I can ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I could make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com and send a donation to richandmerit7@yahoo.com. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your program.
Anthem on the track.
Yeah. King shit. Yeah. Look. I'm from the city where the bums rich. Skyscrapers block the rays when the sun hits. One time coming, niggas run quick. By the time a baby walk, he got a gun grip. I was made for this. 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 I'm not a product of the cages that they raised us in. Bred to